Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I heard a quote today and it hit a little different. It said sometimes nothing good happens to you because you are the good that happens to others. And if you've ever felt that in your bones, you already know what it means. You have been the strong one. You have been the steady one. You have been the person who shows up even when you are running on fumes. You've been calm in somebody else's storm. And then you go home and you realise nobody's asked how you're doing. So let's talk about this properly, with the whats, the whys, and the hows. Because this is not just a nice line, this is a real pattern in real life. And if we get it right, it can save people. First, what is this really? It's the experience of being a giver in a world that often rewards performance and not character. It's being the one who keeps things moving. You hold the family together. You keep the workplace steady. You absorb the mood. You smooth the edges. You are the person people call when their life falls apart because they trust you not to collapse with them. And you do it because you're built that way. You have a conscience. You have empathy. You have values. You can't watch somebody suffer and do nothing. You love. You protect, you pour in and you stay solid even when you are exhausted. That is the what. Now, why does it feel like nothing good comes back? There's a few reasons and they're not all personal. Some of them are just how humans work. The first is people adapt quickly to whatever stabilises them. If you're constantly reliable, people start experiencing you like gravity. They don't thank gravity. They just assume it will be there. Your consistency becomes invisible. Not because you're not valuable, but because you are dependable. Second, there's a quiet mistake that strong people make. They train others to take because they never practice receiving. They keep saying, I'm fine. Then they'll say, I'm okay today. They keep rescuing, they keep giving the benefit of the doubt, and they keep showing up early, staying late, carrying the extra load. And then they wonder why nobody carries them. If you never ask for anything, people will assume that you don't need anything. Third, there's a biological and psychological reality here. Helping can genuinely lift us. Research has showed that pro-social behaviour like giving and helping is associated with benefits, including better mood and well-being in many contexts. A classic example is research finding that people randomly assigned to spend money on others reported greater happiness than those assigned to spend money on themselves. So why are you not feeling that lift? Because giving has a sweet spot. When you give from fullness, it's life-giving. When you give from emptiness, it becomes a slow leak. That's not a weakness. That's physics. There's also a name for what happens when caring turns into depletion. Many clinicians and researchers describe compassion fatigue as the cost for caring, where repeated exposure to other people's distress can erode your emotional reserves over time. And you don't have to be a nurse or a therapist to feel that. Parents feel it. Partners feel it. The reliable friend feels it. The one who is always the bigger person feels it. Another reason is this. Chronic giving without support creates a stress load. Caregiving research consistently links burden with anxiety and strain. One meta-analysis found a strong association between subjective caregiving burden and anxiety symptoms across caregiving groups. Now widen that out. Even if you are not a formal caregiver, if you're emotionally carrying people, your nervous system experiences it as caregiving. You are holding weight. So no, you are not imagining it. The giving can be real and the drain can be real at the same time. Now the deeper philosophical why. There's a virtue in being a blessing, but there's also a shadow side. The shadow side is when being the good becomes your identity and you start using it like armour. You are the helper, so you don't ask for help. You are the strong one, so you don't admit you're tired. You are the peacekeeper, so you swallow your truth. You are the responsible one, so you keep over-functioning while others under-function. And then you end up doing more than your share and quietly resenting the people that you love. That is how good people become bitter. Not because they're bad, but because they're unprotected. So what is the answer? The answer is not to stop being good. The answer is to stop bleeding for people who will not bandage you. The answer is to keep your character but add structure. That's the how. Here's how you stay the blessing without burning out. First, you must name your role out loud, at least to yourself. Say, I've been carrying a lot. Say, I've been the calm for everyone else. Say, I've been giving more than I'm receiving. Because what stays vague stays unchangeable. Second, you practice the discipline of receiving. That might sound strange, but it's a real skill. When somebody offers you help, don't wave it away. When somebody asks how you are, don't give a performance answer. When somebody loves you, let it land. Receiving is not taking. Receiving is allowing. third, you have to set boundaries that protect your energy. A boundary is not a speech. A boundary is a line and a consequence that you draw. I can't take calls after 9 p.m. I can help you once, but I can't carry this every day. I will support you, but I will not be spoken to like that. You'll feel guilty at first because your old pattern was to buy peace with your own comfort. But guilt is not always a moral alarm. Sometimes guilt is just withdrawal from an old role. Fourth, you start choosing reciprocity, not perfection. You have to ask yourself, do I feel respected here? Do I feel safe here? Do I feel seen here? Do I feel like my care matters? If the answer is no, you don't have to hate them. You just have to reduce your access with them. Fifth, you build a smaller circle of safe people. One of the most proactive and protective things that you can do is have at least one person that you can tell the truth to without being punished for it. Because when you're always the listener, you start to disappear. And when you disappear long enough, you start to feel alone, even in a room full of people. Sixth, you remember your goodness and what it's for. Your goodness is not for applause. Your goodness is not a bargaining chip. Your goodness is not a strategy to earn love from people who can't love well. Your goodness is the expression of who you are. And here's the twist. You can be good and still be wise. You can be generous and still be discerning. You can be loving and still be boundaried. You can be the calm and still protect your peace. That's maturity. Now let me speak to the one person who feels overlooked. Maybe you're not being overlooked. Maybe you're being relied on. And there's honour in that. But you have to do one thing. You must stop acting like you are indestructible, because you're not. Even the strongest people need replenishment. Even the blessing needs rest. Even the anchor needs a safe harbour. And yes, one day, somebody will match you. But don't wait for that day to begin. Treat yourself with the respect that you keep giving away. Start that now. Be the good that happens to others, but don't abandon the good that must happen to you. Because the world does not just need your output, it needs your aliveness. Keep the character, keep the love, keep your standards. Just stop paying for other people's comfort with your own well-being. That is how you stay a blessing without becoming a sacrifice. I hope you've enjoyed joining me this evening, guys. I wish you the best and to be blessed. You take care. Namaste. This is the way, guys.